A very warm welcome in the fifth module of week 1 of the course Entrepreneurship and IP Strategy, titled Case Study 1 IT Sector Google. So, in this module we will share with you a case study of how a single patent can provide competitive advantage to build an organization. This case study is from IT sector. I feel this case study is a right representation of combination of inventorship and entrepreneurship. Inventors very passionate about their domain, invents very unique technique. College going students, these are the inventors are a college going students, appreciate importance of IP and protect it, and latter develops their own venture, and today you know it as Google, a subsidiary of Alphabet Incorporation. In previous session, I have shared story about Paris Convention and how it is related to entrepreneurs and inventors. I will add little bit more about IP and that history before going further into the Google inception and its journey. Intellectual property rights system, if you see the history, it traces its roots back to 3200 BC. Renaissance northern Italy is thought to be the cradle of IP system. The first copyright, can you guess? It was issued to a printing press invented in 16th century. The first patent, it was issued in Florence in 15th century to a floating architectural crane. So, you can imagine copyright in 16th century, patent in 15th century, and trademark is the oldest category or a type of IPR. And any organization that is planning its entry into the market should definitely keep IPR in mind, because the benefits, just in the previous session we have seen the benefits, that benefits will not just make you richer, but can far outweigh the other tangible benefits. So, as you got the idea about first patent, copyright and so on, now we will check example how this giant organization started its initial journey. So, do you know who is the founder of Google? Any guess? Just check this picture on here. Any guess now? Yes, Mr. Page and Mr. Brin, these are the founders of Google. Do you know which university they were studying together? Okay, I am giving you a hint. Some details related to patent I am giving you, which probably will help you to know which university they were associated. Check this details of a patent. So, you can see here publication number, then publication type, application number, priority date, inventor, yes, Page is an inventor, and see now the original assignee. Yes. So, this information on the screen, whatever you are seeing, and the details like publication number, publication type, etc., you can get details, and what exactly that it, we will go through in one of the modules in week 4, and there you will get idea about these details like publication date, then priority date. But now you just see who is the assignee. So, here this inventor is a Page, and he is associated with, yes, Stanford University. So, can you guess now that how much fortune Stanford University made from this patent? This patent which was responsible, or which from which this big giant was, what we can say, its journey started. Google made in 2005 approximately $336 million. You can just imagine one patent, and university got this much amount from that patent. And I can give you the example more, that this is not the only what we can say highest license fee or license or royalty whatever university has received. I will give in a couple of minutes another example, but now we will just see what is the current status of Google. So, currently you know that Alphabet Incorporate, it is now the American multinational conglomerate. It is headquartered in Mountain View, California, and it was created through a corporate restructuring of Google on October 2, 2015. The parent company Google and several former Google subsidiaries are there, and current revenue of this organization is $161.90 billion. This is the current status. So, this patent, it is filed, as I have given you the information, that it is filed in January 1997, and the organization was founded immediately in September 1998 in California. Now, you know YouTube and this Firebase, these are like a subsidiaries of Google, and founders are, you are very well aware now that Mr. Page and Breen are the founders. So, yes, it is a very interesting story, and before going into details, I will just give you Stanford and various types of or various startups which are started in Stanford. So, a few examples are Cisco. In these days, Cisco, everybody is using it for online platform, yes, HP, Nike, PayPal, Netflix, then Yahoo, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, Coursera, Dolby Laboratories, all these are from Stanford University. So, the students who are graduated from Stanford, they have started these organizations. And one more information I would like to give, that probably you might be thinking, yeah, Google is the company which has given the highest revenue to the Stanford University. Answer is no. There is another what we can say patent which was related to biology, and it was like a this is monoclonal antibodies, and that monoclonal antibodies, this has given what we can say the largest revenue to Stanford University, and it is approximately $613 million. So, you can imagine almost double the Google royalty received from the Google. So, you can imagine that one patent, university is protecting it, university is also getting royalty, inventor is building the organization, and you are seeing the results now. And if you want to know more any what we can say case study from a Stanford, we have in the earlier course roadmap for patent creation, we have recorded one case study of Genentech, and that is also restriction endonuclease related this case study is there. You can just go through week 1 module 5, that is related to this patent and how exactly that was a very interesting story, and probably you will enjoy that going through that what we can say case study also, and it is also related to Stanford. So, here when we if you get now the pretty well idea, okay, this is a university, these are the students and these are the big giants which what we can say in their inception is in this university, or either these inventors or founders are related to this university. Now, I can give you what we can say one quote from what we can say very what we can say a Xerox organization. He is a Xerox organization businessman. I am just that quoting that quote. I am convinced that you just see what Richard Thoman is saying. He says that I am convinced that management of intellectual property is how value can be added. That so it is for a value addition. Increasingly, companies that are good at managing IP will win, and those who aren't will lose. So, this is a very what we can say doomsday prediction. It was made by American businessman Richard Thoman, and when he has done this statement, given this statement or this comment, when he was appointed as a CEO of $20 billion Xerox Corporation. So, at that time he said in 2000, we are in 2020 now, In 2000 he has given this statement, and he clearly said that those who will not understand the value of IP, they are going to lose. So, this is like what we can say, you can appreciate the value of this intellectual property, and I have already given you a few examples of valuations of a trademark, like this we have seen Google or Microsoft, that valuation. I can just add a few more, that is Tropicana trademark, that is a trademark is a type of IP, and its value is like a $1 billion. Now, you can imagine that Tropicana, $1 billion only that trademark value. Then Marlboro is there, that trademark is worth up to $40 billion. So, you can imagine that one word. Now, you are also seeing here Google, that is a one word, and its valuation is like a more than $50 billion. So, you can imagine that one word is giving that valuation to the organization. So, that is the value of a IP which you can appreciate. So, let us see now the success story of these inventors, Page and Mr. Brin, who built this giant organization. Now, we will see this case study under 5 main points. So, the first point, single intellectual property right is enough to launch your venture, and this is well proved by Google. A strong single IP right can give an edge to your new venture and also makes your entry into market comparatively easy. IP can build a fortress around the organization and protect it from competition. To leverage IP correctly, it is important to know the IP focus of an organization. For example, if you are a technology driven startup, then patents will play a major role besides copyright, trademarks and industrial design. But if your startup is in the business of movies, then copyright will be the king, that will be the most important IP. If startup is related to games or animation, then industrial design along with copyright will take the prime position. We have just seen that Google, that first patent US 6285999, if we have just seen that patent, it was filed in January and it is called as a PageRank patent, it is related to PageRank. It was a link analysis algorithm. This patent was assigned to Stanford University. As a rule, always it is the rule, that policy of a organization is that university is always a assignee or a owner of that patent, and a student or a professor who are associated with that particular university will be the inventor. Same thing here, Stanford is a assignee, and then the Google what happened, that this technology, it was developed by Brin and Page when they were a PhD students in a Stanford University. Now, Google had exclusive license rights on this patent from Stanford University. Later on, the founders purchased that rights from university for about 1.8 million shares of Google in exchange of use of patent, and then as I have mentioned, in 2005 university altogether sold the shares for $336 million. Both institute, that is a assignee, and a student inventors rightfully exploited their IP rights to build today's tech giant Google. PageRank IP also holds a trademark protection. So, you can imagine that yes, PageRank, it is like a it is like protected by a trademark also. So, patent is also there and trademark is also there. Second, develop your IP portfolio. So, it will be good idea for a startups or any business to align core competences of business with their IP strategy. This helps to build a strong IP portfolio. I have given you example of a Siemens, and only patent portfolio of Siemens in the previous session we have seen that 60,000 patents are held by Siemens. So, what we are trying to emphasize is that build a strong IP portfolio. Almost all patents of Google are in a computing, calculating and counting domain. So, that is a domain. So, you can just appreciate that this is the domain, and in that domain that what we can say IP portfolio is built. Thus, Google follows a very focused innovation and IP generation process. For example, in computing space, Google has registered a patent to detect events of interest in context of a network traffic. It is registered as a US 7970934, that is a patent number. So, in this case Google has registered the patent which forecasts the traffic that will come to the Google search page to search information about any event of interest, like an, say for example, earthquake. This helps them efficiently manage site traffic and improve user experience. So, you just imagine how exactly that patents are there and you are doing search on Google, but you can imagine the what technology is going, and that technology is already protected by patent by this organization. Now, the third one. This third one is like a be aware of a IPR of others. Now, it is advisable for startups to know the IPR of others to avoid infringement, because by ignoring also means by ignorance also you should not infringe anybody else IP. Remember, law does not forgive ignorance. So, no point pleading ignorance in case of a lawsuit. In October 2006, when Google acquired YouTube, and this is a very good example of mergers and acquisitions, organization like Viacom and the English Premier League filed a lawsuit against YouTube for a violation of a copyright. Viacom said that more than 150,000 unauthorized clips of material owned by Viacom were viewed on YouTube, and Google had to pay up for this unauthorized use of Viacom's IP right. So, you just imagine it is a copyright infringement case. Viacom is saying, okay, on YouTube you are holding that copyrighted material, and now Google is owning that particular thing, and this was a result of that you may be ignorant about that particular thing, but you have to face the legal issues if come, you have to what we can say, you have to handle that case. There was another case also when Google case, like a copyright case is there, that is what Google has started, probably out of ignorance, we never know, but yeah, they face the issue that what they have done, they have started scanning books, and you can imagine book copyright is there, and copyright term is like authors, in India it is a author's life plus 60 years, and you can just imagine that if somebody is copying that book and making it available online freely, this is a big copyright infringement, and that was a, what we can say, it was a Google faced that, they have handled that thing, but this is like a IP issues come when your organization is growing, and if you are unaware, you may face this litigations, and that will be like sometimes what we can say, it will be a headache for you, or it may be a loss of fortune, brand image damage, all these things can happen, and therefore, it is necessary this third point, that is be aware of IPR of others. Now, the fourth point, so we have seen single intellectual property right is not enough, it is enough for launching, it is good enough. If you are more than that, you become what we can say very competitive. So, that single intellectual property good enough. Second thing is develop your IP portfolio. Third is be aware of IPR of others. Now, the fourth one is observe your competition. Besides an internal focus, it is desirable to keep an eye on your competitors' IP development. And in the previous session only, we have shared that competitive intelligence report that every organization, big organization follows periodically. So, for example, I take an example of a FMCG. Suppose you are associated with a Unilever FMCG, and you want to keep watch on FMCG industry. Obviously, for example, you will keep watch on PepsiCo, you will keep watch on General Mills. These are the leaders in the that domain, like top 10 organizations. So, what do? You do a competitive intelligence report. That is, you check that at present how many patents are there, which are what is a IP portfolio of these organizations, and you try to understand the technology trend in that patents, and that helps you to know, okay, this is a technology trend, probably now this organization is moving in this domain, and you can predict that this next product of this organization will be X. By knowing that technology trend only, you can just guess, you can do the prediction, and this business analytics and patent analytics, they work together, and that makes a wonder. You can make a prediction for next 10 years in that technology domain. It is a very systematic process to predict a technology which probably will come in that particular domain in next 10 years. Although we say that currently the scenario is like a, because of technologies like artificial intelligence or a blockchain, these are very prominent, means everybody is talking about this artificial intelligence and blockchain. I am not taking it as a, it is like a, sometimes it is like a buzzword, I am not taking it in that way. I just want to make you alert that we are talking about a technology trend analysis, and definitely just like when internet came, completely there was a disruption. So, you should appreciate that thing, that any technology, when any disruptive technology comes, complete picture changes, all offerings in the market change, society, that particular societal life also changes. That much impact is there on of that technology, and you have experienced it with a very disruptive technologies like a lesser technology or this internet. Similarly, it is happening now with a artificial intelligence and a blockchain, and many times probably you you predict something, but it may be so fast, and that particular what we can say output may come into the market very fast. So, but still what I am saying is that this patent analytics, when we are talking about, that is very important, means when you are observing that competition, that competitive intelligence is very important, and this patent analytics and business analytics help you to know technology trend and a market scenario of competitors. So, for example, sign up for a newsletters, check out our popular networks, and subscribe. Google keeps a close watch on what Yahoo, Microsoft, eBay, Amazon, now this Hulu, all these things we are doing, means that much keep watch Google will keep, and it is keeping obviously, to know what exactly these organizations are doing. Yahoo is now out of what we can say competition, absolutely we can say that thing, but Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, yes, Google is keeping watch. So, post among others are what are, so it is like what they are doing. So, known as a competitive intelligence, Google tracks its competitors' technology development very closely to ensure they are not caught unawares. For example, when Google launched Google Docs, it is a very long time, it was in a direct competition to Microsoft's Word. So, Google Doc and Microsoft's Word. This gave user the advantage to directly work on the Word file online without have to download it to make any changes. This move by Google has impacted the need for users to have a licensed copy of MS Word and their devices to work. So, this is like a you can see the competition between Google and Microsoft. So, if you keep watch on that particular thing, you will be aware that yes, this is the activity which is done by my competitor, and I have to keep watch on it. Now, the fifth one, that is a compete with yourself, and that is the best what we can say. If you see Google, that is the best one, that they are competing with themselves only. So, to grow, compete with yourself and develop new technologies or brands which will satisfy your customer. When Mr. Larry founded Google in 1998, they started with their core product search engine. Later, they built the revolutionary email platform Gmail, creating threat for Yahoo, and have now ventured into cloud based application that threatens Microsoft. The creations by Google are result of out of the box thinking, which resulted in a disruptive innovations. This intellectual inputs by inventors at Google is rightly protected by IP regimes, and Google is able to commercialize these inventions appropriately and at the right time. So, you can just imagine Google, Microsoft, and then how they are competing with each other and how they are giving the offerings, and Google is now, you just see, ahead of time. Customer do not want any changes, but Google is giving you something every day. Simple example, that Gmail also, if you check, or the various offerings which Google is giving, it's a very interesting, and you enjoy and you like that offerings, that proactive push by the technology you are enjoying. So, you can say that Google is competing with itself only and giving a best offerings in their domain. So, these 5 points, that is, single intellectual property right is good enough to launch your venture, develop your IP portfolio, and it happens if you start one patent filing, in series you are going to file a patents. Be aware of your IPR of others, observe your competition, and the last one, that is a compete with yourself. So, if you follow this particular 5 things as a startup, if you remember these 5 things, probably it will be easier for you on your venture to compete in the market and establish into the market. Now, one more important thing, this is about the Google, but one more important thing I would like to share, that you are observing the building here and a Google logo is there. So, it looks like this is a building owned by Google. I have this Google logo you are seeing there. So, here a disclaimer is like this, because I am just giving you the idea now that what happens with a IP like a trademark. Now, this is Google. When you see this Google, it is protected, it is a Google logo, it is a trademark. I am just giving you the example, and so that you can appreciate the infringement issues which happen, or copy paste whatever you talk as a layman language, that people are do copy paste and claim themselves as a, they are associated with that organization, and they are giving offering as if that particular organization is giving the offering. And there are lot many cases of trademark infringement, like Starbucks and Sardar Bucks. This is a very good example, but he copied, that person in copied Starbucks trademark and he started offering, and people get confused. Now, probably you also might have get confused, oh, this looks like a Google building. So, I just give you what we can say, this is a disclaimer that this is not a any way related to Google. What you are saying is that we have just taken a Google logo and we have just taken a color combination of a Google and we have put there. And now you confused as a customer. I am just saying that if customers get confused with the trademark in that way only. So, if somebody copies the trademark and uses it as his own trademark, that is called as an infringement. And here I am just giving you example to just tell you that we have just copied that color combination, as if you can see that this building is of a Google. So, this is not this is just to give you idea. I am just giving, anyway we are not anyway related to Google, but yeah, we are I should make a point that we are associated with IIT Kharagpur and Mr. Sundar Pichai. He is a student of IIT Kharagpur, and we are, yes, proud and honored that we are associated as an education institute with Google in that particular way, that current CEO of Google is alumnus of this institute. Okay. So, considering that only, I am just sharing with you one video of Mr. Sundar Pichai, so that you can just see, enjoy that video, that whenever he has visited IIT Kharagpur, this video, what we can say, it is recorded, you would like to go through that. We are giving you the link and we are just showing you a 1-minute clip, and you can just enjoy what Mr. Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google and alumnus of IIT Kharagpur, what he is saying.
So, you come across as this really humble, down to earth, nice guy. I am sure you were a good student at Kharagpur, but I am sure there was another side to you as well, right? There is to every IITian. There is to every IITian. Did you ever bunk classes at IIT? The morning classes?
Of course, I think it's the rite of passage of going through college. I had I have to say I worked hard, but we did have our share of fun as well.
Did you get ragged?
It was pretty mellow. I definitely remember, when I started, hopefully it has gotten better by now. But we had a few things. I don't know whether you still have. At the time we used to have something called a CG change. I don't know whether you guys still do. It stands for center of gravity change. So you as a freshman, you lock your room and you go out and you come back. And the room doors aren't open, but everything inside your room has been rearranged.
Wow.
And they do it by putting sticks in and all your clothes. They've rearranged even the furniture. So it's quite a shock when you open your room door and you walk back in to see your entire room has been rearranged. So
that must have been crazy. I mean,
yeah.
As a freshman.
Yeah, it was quite an experience. I don't think that was as bad as maybe a couple of weeks into being here. I came from South, I came from Chennai. I'd learned Hindi in school, but I never spoke it much. Just listening to how people were speaking, I just thought you address people this way. So one day there was someone in the mess, and I had to call him. I called him Abe Saleh. That's how, in my first couple of weeks, I thought you call people that way. It was quite next thing I know, the folks in the mess were quite upset, and I think they temporarily closed down the mess.
Oh, wow.
So I wasn't very popular for that day. So
you were responsible for the mess shutting down at IIT?
Just for a moment, yeah, just for a moment.
You met Anjali at IIT, Kharagpur?
Yeah, Anjali is my wife. Yeah, she was my classmate. She lived in. Do you still have? I hope you still have SN Hall. And it was the only girls' hostel then, and I hope there are a few more now. And it wasn't always easy to. If you had to go get someone at the girls' hostel, you had to walk in the front and request someone there to go call them, and so they would go in and loudly say, Anjali Sundar is here for you. So it wasn't exactly a pleasant experience, but
Does it still work like that, or you guys use technology?
I guess it's moved on by now. Yeah.
So with this, I guess you have enjoyed that video, and with this we are coming to the end of this session, and probably you would you can appreciate now the role of IP in the Google, that how that giant is built with that one patent. Probably this will be a very motivational what we can say story for you also, for your venture, and explore further IP, whatever you are working in, whatever domain you are working, just explore IP for wealth creation and for your venture building. See you in the next session. Thank you.